Good morning, y'all. So today you're following along with me on my daily routine when I am in town. Oh, it's the first time I've talked today. So today is a Monday. It's actually Veterans Day in November, and it is overcast and a little bit drizzly, which is interesting because that may affect how my day is going to go as far as cooking outside, but we're not there yet. So all I did this morning was get up, drive to Planet Fitness, take a shower, obviously, put on my jewelry. And now the only thing I did differently because I'm recording this video is put a microphone on because now I have a nice microphone. So now is the time for me to do kind of my morning routine stuff. Sometimes when I'm in the car before I leave to go to Planet Fitness, I'll, mess around on my phone for a while, sometimes for a long while, but this morning I didn't. I had a little bit of trouble sleeping. My CPAP battery ran out of power at 3 a.m, which sucked. And what happened was I realized it wasn't actually plugged into the car, and last couple nights I didn't check. So I need to check every single day. Now, it's not a big deal because I can charge that battery up when I go to my warehouse later today, which now, one of the reasons I'm doing this video about the daily routine is when I'm in town is because I would imagine that there's some people who may think I spend all day at the warehouse now that I have that space, and I do not. I spend a couple hours there every day, but not all day because I don't want to be in there all day. I don't want to be in any little space inside of walls all day long. I like to be outside and in my car and going from place to place. So I still do that. All right, now I want to have my breakfast. So I have, instead of coffee, I've been drinking iced tea lately. I started doing that during the summer when coffee was kind of too hot, and an iced coffee wasn't something I felt like making or buying, and found that I actually really like drinking iced tea. Now that I've been doing it for a while though, that's my caffeine that I need. Iced tea has less caffeine than coffee, especially if you get like large coffee or something, or some Starbucks drink with multiple shots of espresso. So if I have that, then I am like jittery. So that is what I have now. I meant to refill my bars when I was at my warehouse yesterday, and I did not. So right now I'm reaching into a box that has bars to try to grab a couple protein bars. I got one protein bar. This is from Costco. And let's see if I can find another one. I guess I'm just having one protein bar as part of my breakfast. Now I also have a treat. My significant other bought me donuts. And so I've been having one of these each day. I love little donuts. This all stuff does have dairy in it, so I have to take a lactate. So I like to have just a really simple breakfast when I'm in town, or even when I'm traveling, really, because it means I don't have to deal with finding somewhere to cook at 6:43 in the morning. A lot of times I'm up even earlier than this. This time I slept in until like almost 6 because I was awake in the middle of the night. It took me a little while to get back to sleep. So now, I just spilled some of this. Now I'm going to turn you off and watch a show while I eat breakfast and relax. All right, so now let's get into some more morning routine stuff now that I have my little breakfast snack, because it wasn't that big. I usually have 2 bars for breakfast, but that is all I had. So next thing is to take my vitamins. I take a whole bunch of vitamins. I did not start out taking all these vitamins. I kind of added them gradually over time. Some of them, like calcium with vitamin D, was from a doctor, and vitamin B12 was from a doctor. But other stuff I added myself, like, doing a test, taking something for 3 to 4 months and then seeing if it made a difference for what it was supposed to make a difference. And these are the things that have made the difference. So not everything I've tried has made a difference. Oh, it fell down. And then what I do is I have a little tracker for my habits. Can you see that? My little habits tracker. And so I just did my vitamins. And then I have a couple things that I do each week, each day of each week. And I've played around with different ways of doing this, but these are the things that I found it to be the most helpful for me as I am going throughout my day to really help me, have a good baseline for life. So the first thing is taking my vitamins. The next thing is that I actually do as part of my morning routine is financials. So what I do each day, not every single day. Sometimes on the weekends I don't do this, but what I do each day, especially each weekday, each business day, well, I think today's might be a federal holiday. You know what I'm saying? Is I go over my financial. I keep track of my money in like a just on a paper, and I'm actually going to do a video about this sometime. I track my financials in a couple different buckets. One bucket is the money that comes from my law firm, and that is paying for all my debt and debt payoff stuff, and is covering the overhead of my rental house, which is not being rented because I'm renovating it to sell. And then I have all the money that comes from my YouTube stuff, and that goes into a separate sheet. And that covers all my bills, my savings account contributions, all my discretionary thing, food, gas, life. So for the last however many months I've been doing this, I don't remember, I have been living off of YouTube money, and that my law firm money just goes into paying off debt. So once all the debt's paid off, that's how that's going to work. I will not need my law firm anymore, and I can stop taking new clients. It'll take years for me to completely wind down the law firm, but that will be step one, is stop taking new clients. And then my law firm work will go down to a very, very minimal amount. I just plugged in my laptop, and my big battery is not charging it because apparently it is not on. And so when I got my new phone, I have not yet set up my new phone to be able to connect to any of my batteries. So I'm going to get out and go turn it on. I'm not going to worry about it right this second, but I will do that probably a little later this morning. So what I'm going to be doing now, I actually have to get off doing this because I need to use my phone so I can connect my laptop to the internet. And then I'll check all my bank accounts, put it into my paper, write everything down, the last expenses for the last couple of days, because I didn't do this on Saturday or Sunday, and add everything up and see where I am financially. And also I'm checking all my accounts to make sure nothing bad happened. So I'm still in the parking lot of Planet Fitness doing this because it is 7:07 in the morning, and this is a good place for me to exist. I don't sleep here for a number of reasons. One is that I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago, before I was living in my car, they did hire I don't think it was Planet Fitness. Actually, I'm 100% sure it wasn't Planet Fitness. The people who own like this land that this parking lot is in and that this, strip mall is in, hired a security guard to come around and kick everybody out. Technically, I think there's probably signs somewhere. Actually, don't even see any right here, but that you can't, be camping here or whatever the signs say. Now, this Planet Fitness is not open 24/7 anymore. It's open 24/5, but still. However, there are people who I'm 100% sure are sleeping here. There's actually a line of cars that park up against kind of by the street that are all hybrids, actually. Like they're in a little club and they all sleep there. And then occasionally you'll see different vans. But this parking lot's not really big enough for you to park something big in. It would be too hard to get in and out. I occasionally see someone with a trailer or a larger, full true RV, but that's pretty rare. Most of the time you just see, a camper van or a minivan or something, or the line of hybrids that are out there that are just regular cars. The part of the reason I don't spend the night here is because I don't want to get kicked out if they start kicking people out. But part of it is also because I spend the night closer where my significant other lives. Like I was actually over at their house last night and we were hanging out. They're actually going out of town today. And so then it was nice to just go straight over to where I usually sleep. Also, there is this aspect of I don't want to, poop where I eat kind of thing. So since I am going to Planet Fitness every day to take a shower, I don't want to sleep here because if I have trouble with, getting kicked out of the parking lot, then it's awkward when I come here to go take a shower. You know what I mean? So I like to have everything be separate. It's kind of a risk management strategy for me. It's like diversifying where you spend your time. So if any one of them has a problem, you can go spend time at the other places and it's not a big deal. All right. So I did all my financials, my personal financials, but I also did my business ones. So I use a bookkeeping app and I log into the bookkeeping app every single day for each of my business entities. So I have a law firm that is a corporation, a S corp, for those of you who know what that is, a professional corp. And I check all the finances for that, and then in my bookkeeping and add new things and approve them, really, because it imports them automatically. And then for my LLC that holds multiple, my 2 YouTube channels and all that, then I look at that stuff. That doesn't have that many transactions, but it did have today. It has insurance and things like that. So I had a few expenses for, it was insurance, and it was Epidemic Sound for my music that I pay for every month for a license for this huge amount of music. So I look at that stuff every day just to make sure nothing bad is happening. For both of those, I have multiple accounts. I have bank account and credit card and all that stuff. I want to make sure there's no bad charges, and I also want to make sure that the money is in the right accounts for what needs to happen. I don't want to be surprised by anything, especially for my businesses, but also for personal things as well. So since it is about 7:10, I kind of have a little bit of time before I go to the next thing. And these are those like lulls during the day where sometimes I will watch something on my phone, or I'll play a game, which is actually what I think I'm going to do. Sometimes I'll go ahead and start work. So I'm going to give you an idea of my to-do list for the day. So today I am filming this video, obviously. I'm going to go through my law inbox, which is a lot. And the thing is, even though it's not hundreds of emails or anything, but a lot of the emails in there are emails where I actually need to process what is happening. And so that will be something that I need to do is process what people sent, decide what legal advice I'm going to give. So those emails are not just like things that take a second. Sometimes they take, 15 minutes each. And if there's 13 of them, that's a lot of time. Typically, it just takes me an hour or two to go through all that. I'm going to go to the grocery store and get a couple things. I don't have any bread. I want to get peanut butter. I need more iced tea. At the park, I'm going to refill my water and take out the trash. And then whenever I get to the warehouse later today, I need to refill my bars because I only had one bar for breakfast. Those are kind of my to-do list things. Now, I'm not saying those are the only things I'm going to do. Since it's overcast, I might record another video for this channel. So next week or the week after next, the last video of the month, I want to get my podcast going again. And so I could record the video for that, for my podcast. And the reason is about it being overcast. Overcast makes lighting a lot easier. So I like to record video when it's overcast because then you don't get this harsh lighting weirdness. Okay, I am at the next parking lot of the day. I am at the park. You can see the green trees, grass, all the things. So this is a very typical thing where after I leave Planet Fitness, I go run some errands. It could be to CVS, Walgreens. It could be to the grocery store like I did today, to Whole Foods and Safeway. Got a bunch of supplies that I needed, like these kind of wipes that I use to do my dishes. These are great because they are disinfecting wipes that are food safe. So you can use it to clean and then also use it to like leave a little, like you wipe it and then let it air dry, and then it is. Then I got some groceries at Safeway, which will be very good and important for today as well as for tonight when I reheat my leftover bison burger that I got from my significant other, which I will talk about later. So here I am at the park, and now it's kind of the start of my work day. Actually, first we'll go to the bathroom and stuff, but this is the start of my work day, and I am going to my thing on my to-do list for work. Primarily, the first thing that's the most important, the highest priority, is my inbox. And I get emails over the weekend from people. I don't work on my law firm stuff on the weekend ever, really, unless like I wasn't able to work like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I work to catch up on the work I didn't do, but I will set all the emails to go out Monday morning. I do want to cook lunch, an early lunch or second breakfast or whatever it's going to be. It's only like 8:30 with something, 8:39 right now. But here's the thing. Right now the sun just came out. It was right in my face, but it is windy and rainy, but like just barely drizzling. I bet you there's a rainbow somewhere because it's just barely drizzling. And I don't see one right now, but there's going to be another wave of rain that's going to come through. I'm going to check and see because I want to try to time it so I'm not cooking in the rain, because I'm not interested in cooking in the rain, but I actually do want to cook today. I have something that I want to make and eat, and I also want to make some stuff that will go with my bison burger later that I will eat when I'm at the warehouse. So one thing that I do is I schedule my emails to go out in a batch. So right now it is 9:16 in the morning and I'm replying to these emails and they're all going to go out at 1 p.m. this afternoon. And I do that because it interrupts my flow. If I reply to people and they email right back, like then I can't keep track of things. Does not work for me. So I batch things all to go out either at 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m. It depends on the time of day that I'm working. And so that way I don't get replies when I'm working on the email. I don't have rain guards on my car, even though I own them. They're actually in the garage of the house that I own in the Midwest. I meant to put them on and then realized before I was leaving town I had done it. And you can't like put them on and then drive, down the interstate. They need to kind of cure for a couple of days. So that's a mistake. I have the windows cracked, which is fine right now because it's just barely drizzling, but that's not good. Also, I don't have rain gear in the car. I probably have an umbrella in that box file, probably in the bottom, maybe, hopefully, but I don't have my rain jacket and everything is in my warehouse. That's actually fun because it's not going to be raining that much or pouring down rain. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, rain happens. So it's raining. My son called and I chatted with my son for, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. We talk on the phone, or actually we talk on FaceTime like multiple times a week, sometimes every day for a while, but not always every day, if that makes sense. And we typically talk for long periods of time, like maybe even a couple hours on FaceTime. Some of the times when, on the weekend or whatever, when they're not busy. I'm not cooking right now. It's only 10:30, so maybe this will be it, as far as the big, actual, real rain, and then I'll be able to cook. I don't know. I finished the inbox, and the things left on my list for today that I specifically want to get done today is fill my water at the park, which I'm not doing right now, obviously, because that's, and refill bars at the warehouse, and charge my battery and all that, which will also be at the warehouse. So okay, so I think the rain has stopped. It is a bit chilly outside, but I really want to be able to cook, so I am going to do it anyway, even in the chilliness. It will be great to have some nice warm food, right? I moved my car a little bit so there's not like a puddle right next to me, so hopefully that will be okay. I don't know. And hopefully that was the last of the rain. Either it's going to rain on me or it won't. Those are the entire possibilities of how it's going to be. So usually I cook my lunch much earlier than this. It's almost 1 o'clock. But here we are. It was pouring down rain, like actually pouring down rain, right? Raining hard for here at that time. So now, first thing I did was get on my stove. I actually don't take everything over to like a table or something. Number one, tables would be super wet, so there's no real point in that. But I found that dragging everything over to a table, like, just means I'm not going to cook. That's what's going to happen. So it's much better for me to just put stuff on the ground and cook on the ground. So I'm bringing over, don't fall over, little container, my container that has, you can see it has like all my food and cooking stuff, a pan, the propane, all that kind of stuff, and then my cooked food in it. And then it also becomes like a little spot for me to, you know, put stuff on, a little table. Now, a lot of times I will keep my doors open and my windows open while I'm cooking. But today, that is not what I think I'm going to do, because it is a bit chilly. It's so damp and everything, you know. So instead, my hair's a little insane, whatever, I don't care, doesn't matter. So instead, I am going to leave the doors closed for the most part. Okay, so I will have this door open a little bit because I'm going to use this, like I'm going to get stuff out of my cooler. All right, let's move that out of the way, put that over there, and start getting stuff out. Oh yeah, and I remembered the first thing I wanted to cook is onions and peppers for later today and for later tomorrow. So I have that for my burgers. Did I tell you actually about that? So my significant other made extra burgers, and so I'm going to heat those up later, but I wanted to cook up some onions and peppers now, so that way, like, I'm not cooking onions and peppers in a microwave, but I'm going to cook them on my pan right now. So, and then I'll also add these onions and some onions and peppers to my food that I'm gonna eat. I got food done, cleaned everything cleaned up. It is 1:37. So I normally would eat lunch way before this, but it was pouring down rain. Now you can see the sun has come out, so that's nice. It's still pretty chilly, but not too bad. So at the park, I still want to go and refill my water jugs. So I'll go do that before I leave here. And then the other stuff that's on my actual to-do list is to do at the warehouse. Now, I don't really need to go to the warehouse right this second. I, of course, always have some more stuff to do on my to-do list, like for the week. So what I do for my to-do list is I have part of my to-do list is like daily to-do list, right? And then part of it is weekly stuff, you know, so I have not just the habits and things like that, but stuff that I'm doing, like my goals for the week, overall things I'm going to do is, oh, I'm going to record a video, which is this for the Off-Grid channel. I'm going to record a video for my law channel, which I already put on my calendar to do on Friday. I think Friday would be a good day to do that. Client work that I'm going to do for my law firm, you know, all this kind of stuff. And there's always other projects to do too, you know what I mean? So one of the things that is currently pending for the Off-Grid channel is I have 2 videos that I recorded in September that I have not edited. They're vlogs, they're hours worth of content. And so the question is, am I going to edit them, put them on the YouTube channel, or I could just do nothing with them, which I've done before in the past when I've gotten to be like months behind editing, or I could kind of barely edit them or not edit them really at all and then put them on the Patreon, you know, as a benefit for the Patreon. So by the time this video is up, I probably will have decided, but I haven't decided as of right now. So as I wait to decide, I think I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to play a game on my phone for a little bit and see if my brain can make a decision. So one of the ideas of the Patreon is for when I have this extra content that I don't have time to fully edit, or, you know, I have way too much content for how many videos are actually going to go on the YouTube channel. I have somewhere to put them so they don't just like disappear. Because this content, the first year I lived in a car, that never got posted anywhere. It's just gone. It's not actually gone. It exists somewhere in raw format. And I may go back and yank some of that and put it on the Patreon. But that's kind of the idea. And just for those of you who are wondering about it, there's a level of the Patreon that's free. All you gotta do is give your name and email. And then there's a level that's $5 a month if you want to support the channel. It's actually an 8 gigabyte file that it's creating. So I will need to go to the library to upload that. I am not 100% sure if it will work, but this will be an experiment to see. I'm not going to worry about editing the other video right now because I want to see if this works. having a video this long. I could also split it into 2 pieces or something. I don't actually know how to do that on here, but I could. So that is what I'm doing right now. It's going to take a while for this to export. It's been going for a few minutes. It's at almost 20%, so not too bad. I'm so glad I got a brand new MacBook Pro a couple years ago. It's not new now. That's the M1, because it has significantly improved the quality of my life. It used to take impossibly long to export videos, to render them and all that stuff. Now it's very, very quick, comparatively speaking, and to upload them, I mean, all that. It used to be a real significant problem where I didn't know if I could keep doing this. I don't know how the sound is going to be in here, but it's hopefully having the mic means it will be better. I don't know, we'll see. So I put away the food that I brought in. I brought so much stuff in. Now I have this that needs to be charged. Oh, I forgot to put away the peanut butter. Let's go put that over here. These shelves to set up, to put books on. They're currently in boxes. I also need to charge this with a USB, like a micro USB that is going to be over here. So let's get that out. Okay. The micro USB that I have in my car is like broken or something. So that's USB-C. Here's the all the various things. All right, now this is, that is, so let's plug that in there. See if it works. The other thing I need to plug in is this bad boy that I'm not happy about, but it will charge in an hour or so. So before I had the warehouse, if it ran down to 0 like it did this time, I would really either need to bring it over to somebody's house, bring it over to my significant other's house, something like that, or I could bring it into a library, but these things are loud when they charge. Or I would just drive around for hours and spend gas on it effectively, which is not the best solution. So looking at my to-do list for the day, I didn't record when I was uploading the video for Patreon at the library because I was on the phone with my significant other while I was there. So I uploaded that video. It took a while, not really that bad considering it was 8 gigs, and is now posted on the Patreon, which is awesome. So that's resolved. Refilling bars, I just took out a bunch of bars and put them in my big bag. You saw this huge bag. I love this bag from Lands' End. And the straps go all the way around the bottom so it can hold a gigantic amount of weight, and it's canvas, which I really like. And I'm now charging my devices. So I have crossed off everything on my to-do list. Yay. So it is, let's see, almost 5 o'clock. Looking at my other stuff for the week. So I already did an extra thing, which was editing a video for the Patreon. Well, I didn't really edit it. I just put it together and uploaded it and everything for the Patreon. I'm right now filming for the Offered channel. And then I will edit this tomorrow, the next day or whatever, because it's going to go up on Friday. I have geography I could do. So I'm taking a class at community college in geography. And to be honest, so I'm very much enjoying what I'm learning, but it's pretty much just reading this book. Like I'm not even watching the videos, and I'm getting 100% on the quizzes. So while generally speaking, like some of the community college classes I've taken, I've learned a lot from the actual teacher and from the homework that's been assigned. Some of the classes, it's pretty much just me reading the book, and I'm just like, I could just buy the book. I mean, don't get me wrong, the class it wasn't like the class was super expensive, but what I'm actually thinking about doing in the future is literally just looking at the class I want to take, seeing what the assigned book is, and then just buying the book. I'm definitely not taking a community college class next semester because I'm going to be in the Midwest working at the house all the time. So I don't think it makes sense. But anyway, in the meanwhile, I can read that book. That would be a good thing for me to do. I'm not going to do any more law firm work as far as like client filings or anything. However, I might check my email because my last batches of emails went out, is going out in a minute. And so I might pop in after those go out and give them, a little bit of time to reply, and then put in the queue a whole bunch of replies that will go out tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I'm not filming for my law channel until later in the week. So yeah, I think I'll do a little bit of email. I'll do some of my geography stuff. And then I can assemble the bookshelves. Oh, and eat my bison burger. All right, so it is 7:43 p.m. I've had a conversation with my significant other. I've had a conversation with my son. I got all my books up here. Yay, I'm so excited about that. And finished up those last emails and sent of the people who replied to something I sent to them either today at 1 o'clock or today at 5 o'clock. So that is awesome. So I feel very caught up on work and life stuff. So before I leave here, there's a couple things I need to decide. And it's really about, is there anything I need to do before I leave here, in the sense of like, I want to order something or do something around here. And then is there stuff I need to bring with me? Which is, yes, so I have to figure out what are the things I need to bring with me. Now I already put the bars in my big bag, so that's already there. I've decided, is there anything from the fridge that I need? I don't think so, but I'm going to think about it for a sec before I make a final decision. Obviously, I'm going to take my laptop and all that stuff with me, of course. And I'm going to take this microphone set and all that with me. And I might take a book with me now that I have my books out. I have to decide, am I going to start, so this is my only fiction book in my to-read pile. I read science fiction, fantasy, and stuff. This is a book that my son bought and started to read and then decided that they didn't like it. This is like 2 years ago, so I found the receipt inside of it, and it was for 2022. And this is 2024 when I'm recording this. So I might start reading this, which would be a new book. I might read the first page and see if I like it. Or do I go back to, this book, which has copyright 1991 in it. I got this when I was in high school or college. I don't remember exactly. Had a book for a long time. And Mercedes, I have tons and tons and tons of her books. I've read a lot of them in paperback, a lot of them in hardcover. And then, of course, I have a whole bunch of other people. I've been reading through all of Terry Brooks's books. I think I finished that series, but I'm not 100% sure. I think he came out with some new ones to finish out. And I don't know if I read them or not. They might have just come out. So a lot of his books, though, I read on Kindle Unlimited. But not all of them. Some of them I bought. Actually, there are a lot of things I like about Kindle Unlimited, especially considering how fast I read books. But there's something about paperbacks. And I reread books that I like over and over again, an entire series. Like this book, which is part of a series. I mean, I've read this book so many times, I can't tell you how many times I've read it. You can see how broken the binding is, right? Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to get another one of these bookshelves. So this one just has fiction on it, and I decided to just put fiction on it. And this is just going to be fiction. And then I have 4 more boxes of books. Actually, not 4. 3 more boxes, because 2 of the boxes are not full. And that's all my nonfiction and reference books and books about hobbies and all that stuff. So that's going to be in its own little bookshelf. But I think I also want that up there. So I think I'm going to buy 1 more of those to get tomorrow or the next day. I need to remember to take my battery. I think that's all I need to do. So.